back from the dead, back to the living. We found him.
Where?
You were just waiting for me to pull down the overlay. That was it. You were like,
oh, this guy. Yeah, I was missing in action. Yes.
you were definitely were. What's going on, everyone? Welcome into the Voice of College Football's Oregon Live, right here on the Oregon channel of the network. I'm just Ben of Exploring with Sam, right here on YouTube or on Twitter, X, whatever, down there. Spaz, how are you doing?
Doom, despair, agony on me. Whoa, what is life about? Being an Oregon Duck fan. Whoa.
And where can people find you if they want to stalk you?
Stalk me right there
Uh,
on X.
that's right. And hey, Jackson, how's it going?
Yes, I am back from vacation. And I'm not
Uh,
hungover today. Yesterday,
well, and I've been correct for the last couple of weeks. I've been saying, why can't we have nice things as Oregon fans? Why can't we not have nice things? Maybe that's a bad terminology to use to discuss the topic, but at the same time, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah. Like last year, we number one team in the nation for over half the season. And then we go into the playoffs, the number one ranked team, and have to play the hottest team in the playoffs at the time and get steamrolled. And then, oh, look, it's another changing of the rules by the NCAA, courtesy of Oregon. We now, if this would have been last year, instead of playing Ohio State, we would have played like Boise State or SMU or anybody but Ohio State. We would have played because they decided, oh well, we kind of screwed Oregon last year, so let's be nice to them this year. And we still can't get nice things because it's not even fall camp, and all of a sudden, our number one receiver, Evan Stewart, goes bloop, patella tendon torn, out for the year. What? In
Yeah,
June? How does this
yeah,
happen?
yeah. So that was the big thing. Yesterday, you texted at some point really late, and I had fallen asleep early, and so this morning I caught it on Spencer's show, where he had said it came from like an unverified source where he had never heard of the guy before, and was talking about it, and I was like, that still doesn't sound good. Like, even no matter who says it, because that's a bold claim to make. And then you were like, oh no, it's confirmed now. I was like, why? Why?
Well, and the problem is we're gonna see if the rumor is true in the next few days. I'm sure, because if a player gets suspended or cut or whatnot, then we know that the rumor is true. The rumor is that one of his roommates or something along those lines leaked the info to College Football Insider Northwest or whatever the heck that parody account was, and they ran with it like a rape tape, and it blew up instantly everywhere all over the internet. And so I finally reached out to a couple of my sources because it was hours later and it was still, is it real? Is it not real? Is it real? Is it not real? And I reached out to one of my insiders who is very much in depth with a lot of the parents and players and stuff. And I said, okay, is the rumor true? And he says, yes. And then 2 minutes later, after he says that, Ryan goes live, Evan Stewart out for the year. And I was like, literally,
that's why I wasn't rushing to it to even think about it too much until you said, even Zachary Neal said, yeah, no, it's legit. And I was like, okay, if Zach Neal says it's actually a thing, then we're talking different from just Ryan Winters, even with little insider knowledge. You're talking an actual sports guy, sports writer, like aficionado. That's what he does. Like, then I'm like, okay, now we're at a different level. So the problem we have, though, in looking at this is there's also a claim. This is why I left the title. Actually, I changed it back to possibly out because there's a claim. Now this is a like Google doctor source or something like that. The injury he has, I'm not even going to pronounce it. It can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months. But I don't care. Even if he's healed up in 3 months, he ain't seeing the field.
No, there's no way with that kind of an injury, even if it's the lowest grade of it, that kind of an injury.
He wouldn't risk it, and the coaching staff would not risk it. They'd be like, no, sit.
Dan's not doing that. You're done for the year. Sit down, rehab, take a red shirt, and come back and do your senior year next year.
Yeah, the medical red shirt is it's definitely in the future. It should probably already be applied for.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like don't.
Well,
which is so hard.
Stewart has had a history of injuries all the way back to A&M. And A&M folks were telling us when we got him, they were like, ha ha, have fun with the injury riddle. And it bit again.
Well, and again, he did miss the Rose Bowl. He missed the spring game, or at least he was held out while finishing recovery, to get over that. So that just out of safety precautions. And here we are. Like,
so here we are. There's a good point. Here we are. He didn't play in the Rose Bowl, didn't play in the spring game. So how long has this injury been? Is this an injury from last season that just didn't heal right? Or
that's what it sounds more like. That's what it sounds more like to me, is that it was something they were taking care of and now it's re-aggravated. Or it gotten worse.
Or he didn't rehab properly, didn't give it the amount of rehab that it needed, and it re-aggravated itself.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Couldn't tell you.
Some guys attack injuries really well. Other guys are like, oh, it's no big deal. I'll get through it. It just lingers and lingers and lingers and lingers.
Yes, that is true. We'll never know for sure. I highly doubt we'll know that. But the point is, I do not expect to see him in 2025. Like, no. At all. I don't expect to see him, which is unfortunate because there went all of your receiving production basically completely out the window. I mean, we're not saying like Evan Stewart had like a monster season last year, but he had those flashes where you were like, there's that guy that we've been waiting to see, like the one-handed catch in the back of the end zone at Michigan. Yes, it didn't count as a touchdown because of a offensive lineman downfield penalty, but those are the plays where you're like, there it is. That's what he could be. And so for last year, we're losing.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough break.
Yeah. So for last year, we're losing with Evan Stewart out. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is because you were also sharing the field with Trayshawn Holden and Tez Johnson. So with Evan Stewart, you're losing 48 catches for 613 yards and 5 touchdowns. You're losing, I mean, a substantial amount of production over there. And you're also dealing with Terrence Ferguson, who had almost the same amount, equally too, as a tight end. So, yes, you have Sadiq, but he's a tight end. He has to block too. He's not a receiver. So, outside of Stewart, where do you go from there?
Well, you do have a returning Gary Bryant.
That is true. I was going to bring up Gary Bryant because, you do have a couple receivers that actually have
He's about the
experience.
only.
But Gary Bryant's had injuries also. He was out almost all of last year because of injuries. But he has experience. There's Gary Bryant. And then we have we have Malik Benson, the FSU transfer and former Alabama. Was it Alabama FSU to Oregon, I believe?
I believe so, yeah.
I think it was, yeah. But yes, he has playing experience, but he doesn't have a ton of production. Now, of course, no one could throw the ball at Florida State last year. Sorry, Mateo. Not talking trash about your brother, but that whole team was a mess. So Malik Benson has not shown what he should be able to do as a prospect that he was coming out of high school. Plus, he had that huge drop in the spring game, which was just awful. Wide open down the sideline, like lost sight of it quickly or looked back and just dropped it. Like, not a good indicator either.
No. No, not
And outside of that, at least I guess you have Justice Lowe, who got some pretty good playing time last year and showed he could be reliable at least. So there's that.
Had a great spring game. Yeah.
And guess what?
You got the other 5-star.
Well, I'm just thinking.
You got the other 5-star.
Who? Name
What is up with my?
I don't know. Well, I'm just thinking people that have like real.
Dickey.
I know, but I'm just thinking people that actually have playing experience. You have McClellan, who might have more actual playing experience than Dickey, and he has none basically.
Yeah.
So that's my point. After even McClellan, who had like a couple catches, after that you have almost no one that has actual game time playing experience in that wide receiver room. Basically, no one. Stewart was the leader. He was the most experienced. Yeah. And again, people like Kyler Casper. He's been injured basically most of his time at Oregon. Dickey's been injured. He hadn't seen the field. And Spaz just exited himself out of the show. I love it. I saw him reach, and he was gone. We'll give him a couple of seconds to come back. Gotta love it. There he is. Yeah, he's coming up. Hey, Spaz, don't hit the exit button.
No, I did. I reset because I keep going. So I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, I saw you reach and you were gone. I was like,
so I'm hoping it's mine.
Seems a little delayed.
It's fucking doing it again. It is, and I don't know what is going on.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I'm on Wi-Fi, even on my PC. So, but
I'm on Wi-Fi and I'm going nowhere. It's like, what is going on?
I don't know. I'm just saying, it's like the whole point of this is that again,
strong connection.
I don't know. We just got to work with what we got. So, but yeah, again, outside of Louis McClellan, no one has game time experience. Like real play time experience. No one has any. That's what's the most concerning. Spaz is working on his connection. You got to upgrade to that. You got to pay that $20 extra for the super speed.
Something, because it keeps going. My network keeps doing this shit.
I don't know what to tell you. I can't help with that. Maybe what we have to do in the future, right before a live, is reset the router. Just unplug it for like the 10, 20 seconds and set it back, like reset it. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. I used to do that sometimes. Key thing is, can you hear me? We got technical difficulties all over the place. Not just with injuries, but internet. Gotta love it. We might have to go to recordings instead of live streams. Yeah. Excuse us for a commercial break here while we deal with some technical difficulties on Spaz's end. He's having some Wi-Fi issues. Yeah, we gotta fix these. Gotta figure this out. I'm taking notes. So, anyways, let's get into this while he's dealing with that on his end. So again, behind McClellan, literally, Justice Lowe and even McClellan, there's no one that has game time experience. The other two senior people in Bryant and Benson are, for the most part, pretty unproven and never lived up to expectations at this point and had injuries. Yes, everyone says is probably screaming, this means it's Decorian Moore time. Yes, I understand. Decorian Moore is a true freshman, though. I've talked about this before. You cannot put that type of pressure on a true freshman. I understand he's talented. And yes, someone like Evan Stewart will still be there to help mentor and teach, even if he's not playing. But putting that pressure for someone like that on the field into Decorian Moore is not justifiable in a way. So I just want that to be clear. But
trying to get my internet. We'll see what happens.
Well, it seems better right now.
Yeah, for 2 minutes.
I was just going over that again behind the experienced guys who have never lived with expectations and Lowe and even McCullough. Everyone else has been injured, no game time experience. So yes, everyone wants Decorian Moore. But a true freshman, that's a lot now to put on a true freshman when you don't have a senior leader like Evan Stewart on the field with you. Yeah, he can be there to mentor you a bit, but he's not on the field there to help you.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see what Gary Bryant can bring as a leader this year, maybe. He's going to have to step into that role.
This is opening the door, like you said. To me, this is now it's become a wide receiver room by committee type of thing until one guy steps up. Like, there's going to be a lot of rotation in that wide receiver room on the field now until you see a guy like Dylan Gresham, who came out in the spring game and you were like, oh, look at that guy. Or Jerrion Dickey comes out and finally shows what he really could be. Or a Kyler Casper. Consistently, though. Or it's just going to be a heavy rotation.
Yeah, and that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. It's just hard to tell.
That's kind of the whole point. It's like, I don't know what to expect now. I think we had an idea. You were talking about the depth chart, and I was like, well, we don't even know. Now we definitely don't know.
Yeah.
This is why I was like, who's wide receiver one now? That's a question mark. I think if anyone laid it out, it'd literally be a question mark right now.
Well, I think it's got to be Decorian Moore at this point, really.
In some ways, I would almost say yes, just for size and speed. But again, I don't know. Oregon does not play true freshmen generally, especially in the wide receiver position like that, being number one. Oh, Spaz is gone again. He's gonna be pissed. There he goes. There he is. I think it's just when we go live, it just takes up a lot of bandwidth. In the backstage is fine.
I don't know what's going on because I haven't been having this issue.
I don't know. It's just like when we go live, it was fine before, so I don't know. But Oregon doesn't like to play true freshmen. Not wide receiver 1 position. Number 2, number 3 maybe, or heavy rotation, but definitely not as the number 1. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, I mean, I don't think Ryan Day does a lot neither, but last year he relied super heavy on the kid that torched us.
Well, yes, but they had several other guys. They had Obuka, very senior guys to support him, and we don't have that. Bryant, I don't consider that kind of same level of senior support, or Benson.
No.
Yeah, I don't consider them that same level at all. And so that leaves kind of Decorin Moore out on an island by himself. So
and
this
maybe he gets that shine now.
Well, he's going to in a way, but I think that this takes the game plan back to an RPO, much heavier RPO, much more running back screen out of the backfield, running back passes too. I think this
Will
is
Stein's
diminishing.
favorite plays.
I think they're gonna until they get proven, they're gonna feel limited to have to do that until someone proves themselves. Until this receiver core actually shows, hey, we can do this. I think that's the game plan, or it's going to have to be at least for the first couple games until everyone gets broken in a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make for an interesting fall camp. That's for sure.
I mean, the only and in no way good thing, but the only silver lining to this is that it happened now. So the coaching staff can now just plan to not have Stewart in the lineup. It didn't happen the day before game 1 when they went, crap, now what? Now the other receivers know they have a shot to grab the reins or what they need to do. And Will Stein and Ross Douglas know they need to really start pushing these guys, and game planning in a different way.
Yeah, 100%. Does this open it up more for Decorin Moore? Does it make it more comfortable for him? Does it make his game stand out maybe even more now? So, I mean, time will tell. But, I think the biggest jump for this is this totally gives Jurion Dickey that shot to shine now, because now there's a spot legitimately open that here's a guy that's came in as a 5-star that's in 2 years has gotten a dozen catches, I think, maybe. Not very much.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's been injured. And all indications are he's completely 100% healthy from everything that's been nagging him the last couple of years. So now's your time, kid. I guess you better grab those reins because you've got that opportunity now.
Well, and the same with Kyler Casper.
But and Kyler Casper.
Again, then Dylan Gresham came out strong in the spring game and looked good. And then we haven't even talked about the potential of, I think he's easing his way back in, but it's Cooper Perry.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a high 4 or low 5.
4-star, I believe.
Yeah, he was a high 4-star, but he's been out of the game for a year because of his mission. So he's kind of easing himself back in a little bit.
We got speed. We've got talent. It's there. It's just, I don't think this coaching staff really wanted to go out there with Gary Bryant as their wide receiver one, or Malik Benson as their wide receiver one, and throw a bunch of freshmen out there with no experience and say, here you go. But now they're going to kind of have to.
It's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. I think I'm not going to take the first game as any sign of anything, because the first game is, they're not going to try to show much. I don't expect much from Oklahoma State either. We're not going to see much, and really probably shouldn't have to see a whole lot until Penn State, kind of like last year. They didn't show a lot until Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State said, even they were like, we had not seen that stuff on film before. And I think that's what they're kind of going to do again this year.
Yeah, you're going to have to do something with the whole Penn State, because that's going to be a whole nother level right there.
Whiteout.
Whiteout night game. Yeah.
Better than Big Noon. I mean, I'd rather watch a whiteout than the Big Noon. It's such a snoozer.
Yeah. Nobody wants to wake up at 9 a.m. on the West Coast and have to be fully into the game.
Off record. This is why I hated living on the West Coast. This is a little bonus cut for this video. A little bonus cut. I'm marking this down. I hated the West Coast. What was worse is when I lived in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Big
God.
Noon is what, 8 a.m. there? 7?
Like 3.
I thought it was only a couple hours.
No, it's like from the West Coast, it's like 3 or 4 hours more.
Oh, I thought it was only like 2.
Yeah, no, it's woof. When the final night game is played on the West Coast, it's still like 7 p.m. You can go out to the bar then.
Yeah.
It was awful. All right. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna see how that all works out. But hey, Spaz.
Yeah.
Have you ever paid attention to USC on Twitter?
Not really.
You shouldn't, because they're always talking smack about Oregon. As always, we live rent free in their minds, right?
Yes.
So of course, following the Richard Wesley commitment video, USC went wild. And then following the whatever you want to call it, decommitment, USC went wild. Guess who's on campus this weekend already?
Richard Wesley. Amazing.
I'm telling you, it was just a shopping round. The story was that I understand is that his parents were like caught off guard, and they were a little surprised, and so I think they made him pull back. But he still seems all Oregon. So
yeah, they probably wanted him to not close down his recruiting and wanted him to take other visits and things, and so this is his way of, okay, fine, I'll take some more visits. We'll see.
Yeah, I called it maybe money grabbing a little bit for NIL, but at the same time, I think maybe they were also like, "Are you sure? 100% sure? Make the best decision or whatever, not just because of NIL necessarily too." But
yeah, exactly.
But Richard Wesley is back. You've got linebacker Tyler Atkinson. Let's go. And cornerback Brandon Arrington too. Oh,
yeah, we've got like 4 or 5 5-stars coming in this weekend.
Yeah, because last second edition, I believe it was Jet Washington.
Yep.
It's coming. Last second, he's going to come. And not this weekend, but the following weekend, Ryder Lions.
Yeah.
Take his visit. Oh, funny note too. Let's make fun of USC. You also heard that too, right? Ryder Lyons canceled his visit to USC.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
It's
Yep.
literally just BYU and Oregon now, which BYU makes sense because he's going to go on a mission when he gets into college. He's going on a mission for 1 year. And so it's literally just like BYU and Oregon now.
You know what I don't get with some of these kids is when they go on these missions, it's like I could see if they were at a school, committed to a school that had that, like BYU or, Utah. But when they go to an Oregon, a USC or whatever, why are you still doing this?
Well, it's their thing, but the school is also aware of it.
It's weird.
Well, it's. I think it's only a little bit weird. We use that word loosely here in the sense of that it's kind of different for us. The first one that first player that we can think of, I think, that's done that with Oregon is Cooper Perry, right?
Yeah,
that's why
first
it's
one
just
that
kind
I
of
can remember.
it's a kind of a new thing for a lot of other schools, I think. But because before, yeah, if you were going to go on a mission, if you were part of the LDS, you would go to BYU or like maybe Utah. But
Right.
now that's not a thing because now they're branching out to different schools, and other schools are really coming in to talk to them and get them. So you're then also just saying, okay, we understand this is going to be your game plan. And that has to be just part of the plan of recruiting for coaching staffs now to go. We're not going to have this guy for 1 to 2 years. So it's just a little extra, I don't want to say complication, but a little more strategic game planning, so to say, when it comes to the recruiting world for coaches.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is. We said it works out perfectly for Oregon. If he goes for a year, you can have Dante for 1 year, maybe 2, or Novosad for a year. Then Akili Smith while he redshirts, and then he gets it, and quarterback game keeps rolling.
Yeah, exactly. I think the days of players like major high 4, 5-star player commits playing a full 4 years of college are probably gone now. With the NIL, with all the different things, you're probably not going to get 4-year college commitments anymore. So that makes the recruiting a little bit tougher. It makes the coaching and the developing a little tougher because these kids are okay. They're here. I don't have to worry about this for 2 or 3 years, this position, because I've got 5 guys. Well, you might only have 2 for a year or 2. And then so it makes everything within the program have to move and process faster.
Well, and again, like say like a guy like, just for instance, like a Ryder Lyons, if he came in, or like say Akili Smith right now, we have Akili Smith. He'll redshirt for a year. Then he might be there only 3 years, and he's going to be gone. He's not going to stay a 4th year if it's going good. 4 year, definitely as a quarterback, 4 year playing time that's pretty much done. You're 3 and out, that's for sure. I think what we're also as Oregon fans, though, it's becoming kind of like a lot of other schools have had to deal with in certain situations because we're not used to having this type of
elite talent. Yeah,
these types of players,
multiple positions. Yeah,
every year coming in. We're used to the 3 stars, maybe a couple 4 stars, but the developmental guys that need to stay for like 3 or 4 years and play full time to build themselves. So it's a little bit different. I think that's why we're also adjusting to that part of it.
Good to know.
Tell your wife to stop watching the cooking shows.
Yeah,
she's over there streaming and downloading them.
Too much internet going. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
It might have been. Yeah, it's one of those things. You just never know. This does take up quite a bit of bandwidth, I think, to do with live streams like this. So,
but yeah, we're gonna see. it's just another cog in the road. Dan Lanning and crew has done pretty good with navigating these sort of situations. So we'll just have to roll with the punches, and like you opened up the show with, we just don't can't have nothing nice at Oregon.
Well, and that's kind of the point. It's not that we haven't anything nice. That's true. We already know that. But at this point in time, with Dan Lanning, everything that he's done every year, improving and getting better win wise, and retooling the offense, two offensive coordinators, now third. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Relax, Duck Nation. It'll all be okay.
They'll figure something out. Look at look at last year after 2 games. Spaz was about to throw himself off his trailer patio. Yes, I just said you live in a trailer.
Yeah. But no, it was a little scary, you know. Could be a little scarier this year. We'll see.
It could be, or it might be no problem. But after last year, how it started to what it still went to be, it's gonna be okay. It'll be all right. The staff is in place, and we know what the staff can do.
Every little thing is going to be all right.
And we just get copyrighted from that little clip of you.
Don't worry. Be happy now.
Oh God. Well, Spaz, do you have any final thoughts on this? Because obviously this is still devastating. We're trying to make light of it, but it what? Oh, decorum more. Yeah, sorry. I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's just scary to throw a true freshman out there. The thought of it for most teams is almost any team throwing a true freshman out there is kind of like in that type of with that responsibility is kind of nerve-wracking.
And that important of a position as well.
And what and do you want him touching the ball? What if he gets hurt? What if he gets hurt? I know. You have to think about the amount of touches he gets, the amount of hits.
Yeah.
So that's why you gotta get everyone else around him to step up too.
But as we've seen, he's a freak. He doesn't get touched much. Most of the film I've seen is he doesn't get touched a lot.
Oh, that's good. But now we're going
when
to
he gets
college.
open. When he gets open, he's open.
Well, that's why we wanted. That's why we needed Stewart, or we needed Gary Bryant to step up and be able to get open also, where they can make those breaks and get open to take the stress off. Where there's another option. That's kind of the whole point. It's like someone's got to step up and do it, and we saw that with Dylan Gresham. I will be honest. That's what we saw in the spring game. He was able to find those zone spots and take off.
And you're going to need that. You're going to need that Malik Benson to get those underneath routes and whatnot, and put Bryant and Decory Moore on the edges and get some of those underneath routes successfully completed and at a regular pace to where you can throw that home run ball up there every now and then.
Yeah, because then you just got Justice Lowe, who's basically just running seam routes. He's just straight going. He's not really even running routes. He's just like running down the field in a straight line, basically. Then thank God you have Sadiq. That's helpful, but obviously he has other responsibilities. So,
and McClellan can get some step up too now. Maybe you might. I think you're going to see, like you said, I think you're going to see a high end rotation for at least the first few games to see who adjusts, who takes that leap and shows out.
It's the best guess I can think, and I think that's probably the best strategy in some ways, not heavy, not every other play or something like that, but like every other drive, kind of switch a guy out and see who really takes grabs the reins again and says, "I got this."
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Exactly, Troy. That's what we want to see this year. Would I love to see Malik Benson and Gary Bryant absolutely just start torching defenses and be the like number 1 and 2 receivers? Absolutely. That'd be great for them. And
Yeah.
that'd be fine. I'd have no problem with that. Don't think that'll happen. Not both of them, anyways, but I would love to see that. But yeah, there could be another guy we haven't even really talked about much that could be that guy. Who knows? We're gonna find out. It's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is officially Josh Pate's annual. However many more Saturdays until football. What is it? 12? Is it going to be 12 or 13?
Somewhere around there.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
14, 21, 28, 4, 11, 18, 25, 1, 8, 15, 20, 11 for the kickoff, 12 for us.
So 12. So it should be 12. I think that's what he's going off is the week 1.
Yeah, as like the 29th. So yeah.
I was about 12. To be like, welcome to doing math at the Oregon Voice of College Football.
Yeah.
Welcome to counting. It's going to be interesting. It'll be fun. All right. Spaz, I promised you, you'll get, even though you took this week off, you came on tonight. You're here.
Yep.
So we will take next week off. God forbid any more breaking news.
Very good breaking news.
That's what I mean. Hopefully it's like a commitment.
I don't think there's any commitments till July.
It's no, where is it? Ian Nacho, the lineman.
Oh.
He is June 30th, I believe.
Okay.
I believe he's June 30th. I don't think Rider Lions has anything set because after Oregon, he sees BYU the following week. But I think Ian Nacho is the 30th, I believe. I saw it earlier somewhere, and now I don't know where it was. I had too many tabs open. I think I closed it. Pretty sure, though. It was the 30th.
On the 5th, I believe, is Arrington, and I don't know who else.
Yeah, July 5th is one of the bigger dates. Yeah, July 5th is one of the bigger dates, though, definitely.
Nobody cares about LSU, Jackson.
Jackson's just doing promos, and Spaz over here like, shut up, Jackson.
Nobody wants to hear about that traitor.
Which one?
I don't.
It doesn't matter who his name is. What his name is.
I done forgot about it. Flower? No.
Did he fake a Southern accent?
No, he was a wide receiver that flipped from Oregon to LSU.
Oh. Well, even I don't care about his name, but
help us out, Jackson. Shit, I can't.
What was his name?
I don't even remember.
I don't either. It's like I don't either. That's kind of sad, but I mean at the same time, who cares? You know, it's so obvious too. It's in
Jackson,
my head.
Our knowledgeable master, who's the receiver that flipped from Oregon to LSU? No.
Yeah, no. It's so obvious. Why can't I not think of what
I
his
know.
name
My
is?
brain just drew a blank.
We don't care about that poor kid. That poor kid. Traumatized. That kid's in
Jackson,
therapy.
have you been drinking, sir?
Oh, okay, now I got it. Now I got to quickly do this. Oregon. Decorating. Thomas Jr. No, I don't think so. Flips to LSU. Let me see. No. I mean, if you Google that, it comes up with Decorian more, but that's not correct. No. Oh, hold on. Maybe this one. It's in Facebook. Oh God, this is gonna be a nightmare.
I'll know it if you
What?
just run down their list.
What? I know, but I'm pulling up one. It says 5-star wide receiver commits to LSU or no over Oregon. I don't think it's flips.
That might be it.
Malik Sanders?
Nope.
Yeah, no. I was like, Malik Sanders? No. This is driving me insane. All right, where's... Okay, why is my mouse not working? Just trying to scroll. LSU depth chart. As soon as I see it, too, I'll know it. Ah, killing me. Absolutely killing me. Why are we doing this? Let's see. Wide receivers. We have Nick Anderson. No. Chris Hilton. Kellen Beal. No. Barian Brown. No. Xavier Thomas. No. Teron Francis. No. Aaron Anderson.
No.
Destin Hill. No.
No.
Kyle Parker. Jelani Watkins. That's what they're estimating the depth chart to be, at least by our lads, for 2025. Or was that for 2024? Keys? No.
No.
Are you sure it was LSU?
I could have sworn it was LSU.
I don't know. Now I'm just losing my freaking mind. I'm done with this.
I could have sworn it was LSU.
I'm getting ahead.
Okay, we had Decorian Moore, and then there was another one. Thomas Jr. was a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah, Thomas Jr. was a couple years ago.
He committed here and then flipped to LSU.
Who was the 5-star? Decorian Moore and
there was two of them, and they thought we were going to get both of them. And I thought the other one went to LSU.
That would have been much easier to say. 2024 5-star wide receiver recruits. That would have been a lot easier to say. I was like, I know his name, and I'm just like, oh no, it'd been 2025, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It might have been.
Yeah, it would have been 2025.
Might have went to Florida, but I thought it was LSU.
I put the wrong year. Yeah, because Decorian Moore, there's no. Oh, Dallas Wilson. Yeah, Florida.
Wilson, that's it.
Yeah,
yep, Dallas Wilson.
I was thinking like last year or something like that. Yeah, Dallas Wilson. Yeah, he went to Florida.
Yeah.
Which makes sense though, because there was something, he ended up wanting to stay closer to home for,
family reasons.
Family reasons. It was like, hey, that makes total sense. I think if that hadn't been the case, he would have still gone to Oregon, which would have been mind blowing for all of us. That's what I was trying to think too. I was like, I should have asked you what year it was, because I was thinking you were thinking last year or something like that. So I was like, oh God. Way to get me all riled up tonight, Spaz.
Hey, I got to do my job. I got to stay on top of shit.
This is why we're taking a week off, unless we have good news.
I mean, it's summertime. not much is happening. You see,
Unless it's awful injury news or good recruiting news. Right now, there literally is dead period. We're just going to be making assumptions.
there's no practices. There's no nothing going on. I mean, that's it.
I guess we will start maybe looking at projecting a little depth chart, maybe at position groups.
Yeah, I think that's something we can start to look forward to. I think we're like 6 weeks out from camp starting.
Yeah, and
somewhere around there.
about a month, 1 month basically from media day.
Yeah, which
I
is
don't know the
another
exact
thing.
date, but July 10th.
22nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Is it 22nd? Okay, so just over a month for Big Ten, anyways.
Yep. At the
So-
MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Isn't the Big Ten championship in Las Vegas this year?
No, I think it's still in Indy one more year.
Is it still in Indy one more? Okay.
I believe. I don't think it moves till 26.
Okay. I was like, I heard someone say that earlier, and I was like, is it?
That's the other thing too, is you need to call. You need to get a hold. Someone needs to get a hold of Mark. We got to figure this shit out.
I'll just give you his phone number right now. I'll read it on air. Take it down.
Fuck you.
It's like, hey, Mark, this is Spaz. He'll be like, oh shit, block.
Yeah, Mark hates me anyways. Because I can never figure out how to write it or say it or whatever. And he's always like, spit it out, Spaz, or
Well, I do that too, but
or hit me on the DM, not on the show, you know.
that's a good advice. That is definitely good advice sometimes. All right.
Yeah. Backstage.
All right. Get the hell out of here. Everyone, thank you for coming on. Spaz, one more time, though, if you want. Where can people stalk you? Let them know.
You can stalk me right there at Sean_Spazdrag on X. Also can follow me at Rocky Classic on Instagram, and I'm starting to get a little more on the Instagram again. So we're gonna do some things and see how we go.
There you go. I'm just Ben of Exploring Ben and Sam right here on YouTube. Most people know that by now. Go over there, check it out, subscribe if you like. Please leave a nice comment, hit some likes on some videos. Give me some watch hours. Love it. Other than that, yeah, we'll be back. Let me see, real quick. We'll be back the 18th, unless other news breaks. Hopefully, good recruiting news.
Yes.
Other than that, we appreciate you being here. And as Jackson noted, please stay tuned on the network here for the LSU Tigers Live.
Oh yeah, hit that share, like, and subscribe button.
That's right too.
You'll know whenever we go live.
That's right. Helps build the channel too, but that's it. Keeps you informed. Love it. And we'll see you guys in a little over a week. Not quite 2 weeks, but yeah, a little over a week. We'll see you soon. And as always,
bye.
Go Ducks. Quack.
Quack.